Hey, good day, knife nerds and everyday care people. It's the Big Canucker here, and holy cow, got another video happening here. Now, this is going to be kind of a first impressions video. Not here. Let me see if I can get this here. It's a little bit goofy here. There we go. She's didn't do much there, but this is a little bit of a first impressions video, and kind of a shout out to a fella who helped me out with a getting a birthday gift for, or not birthday gift, sorry, a Christmas gift for my boy, who I am slowly but surely turning into a little bit of a knife nut. I had a video here on my channel of me giving him a Spyderco Tenacious, and I thought we'd kind of maybe step up a little bit and also give me a chance to kind of put this in my hand. I'm not going to put it in my pocket because it is a Christmas present, and it is, although it is pre-owned, it has never been used, never been carried, so it is a Benchmade Griptilian. Oops, upside down. The old Benchmade Griptilian. Do I have it the right way? Oh, geez, she's upside down again. Benchmade Griptilian with the CPM 135 blade or CM 135 blade or whatever. She's not the S30V that they come out with now, and she does have um, the fiberglass reinforced nylon, the FRN handle. Now, having a look on Benchmade's website, they're just saying that it is nylon, but then I look at a couple other websites and they call it a material called Norol. And so, as far as I know, it's just not G10, and it is good looking knife. So, of course, now all Benchmades, they come with this nice little black bag, and this one is no exception. It's in the box, and of course, you get some literature here too as well, talking about Benchmade's lifetime warranty, which I've heard they've got a great warranty. Now, the other thing though I read in here is it talks about if you're not a Benchmade representative, that taking apart the knife may void your warranty. Now, I did not know that. I thought that you could take apart Benchmades. I know Spyderco for a while, and because maybe this is a knife that was built in 2016, and she's actually 4 years old, although not 4 years in use. That maybe they've changed that. So if they have, and you guys know what Benchmade's warranty is, put it downstairs in the comments and let me know for sure. But I'm just saying it was on here, and they've also got a lifetime sharp thing. And I didn't read about what that was, but if you know what that is, I think it's if you send your knife into them, they will sharpen up your knife and look for any signs of wear that's covered under the warranty, recondition and tune your knife and send it back. All for probably like a nominal fee. Maybe it's like $15 or something like that. But you got to pay for the shipping. So that's just my guess on what there is. I didn't read totally because it's tough with these bad eyes to read this small fine print. So if you know what the Benchmade's lifetime sharp program is, once again, leave it in the comments. Do a little bit of education. Maybe I should have done that, but shift happens. Okay, so here we go. She is the black on black. And she's got this little thing saying it's got the access lock. I'm not sure what that little piece of cardboard is for, other than to let us know that it has an access lock on it, and it goes underneath the clip, which is a good looking clip, by the way. So I'm really impressed with the action on this knife right out of the box. Now let's kind of go over the knife here just a little bit, give you an idea. Now, of course, it has got uh, it is Mill Purdue designed and 154 cm. That's what the steel is. She's not. So I guess right now the Benchmade Griptilian comes with the S30V steel, and you also can get it in a version with the 20 CP steel too as well. So they've upgraded on that too as well. And I know that you can get a version here with the G10 on it, with a blue liners, and it's also the other thing is it's got blue standoffs in there, and it's a pass-through design with the 20 CP steel. And that seems to be kind of your most top-end Benchmade. But let's kind of go over this one here right now. So she has got a blade length of 3.45 inches, which is absolutely perfect in my estimation for EDC. I think 3.45 or 3.5 inches, that seems to be the way. If you can go just a smidge under 3.5, then you're good for knife laws in the vast majority of places. If you've got an over 3.5 inch blade, sometimes the cops can snag your knife and give you a charge. But now the other thing here too as well with this is you've got a kind of a saber grind here, kind of a high saber grind, and they also call this a just every place I could find out the literature just said black coating. Now whether it's a DLC coating or what type of coating, I'm not 100% sure, and I don't know how it holds up. I'm wickedly impressed with the Spyderco's black DLC coating. Now, the DLC stands for diamond light coating, which means that it's quite hard. This stuff, I'm not 100% sure, but being, kind of a knife nut and semi-literate in Benchmade land, I've not come across any sort of literature saying that their black coating is terrible. It scrapes off. It's cheap, so don't buy it. I suspect that it's got a fairly hard coating. Oh, look at that! I've got some. I had some silly putty stuck to my hand. My granddaughter's birthday. She left her little tiny tin of silly putty, and it's black pearl silly putty. It's the thinking man silly putty or something like that. I just wanted to open it up and check it out because I'm a kid at heart, and who doesn't want to screw around with some silly putty? Anyways, she's got a thumb studs, which I don't often have a whole lot of knives with thumb studs, but this one seems to be that they're very well placed. I mean, with your thumb, and the action is very smooth. It opens up extremely well. You can actually flick this open quite nicely, and with this access lock, you can open it up all sorts of ways. Really, really impressed with that access lock. Now, the Spyderco has got a version of this lock, and it's a ball bearing lock, and they use a cage with a little pin and then a spring over top of the pin. So actually, the pin is this way, and the spring is this way. So when it opens, it moves in, and the pin compresses. Now with this version here, they have what's called the Omega spring in there. Now the Omega spring looks exactly like that. It's like this around, and then it's got another little tail like that. So it looks like the Greek letter omega. So that's actually inside here. So there'll be just in the back, there'll be a little springer like that. So when you pull this thing back, that omega spring is in there, and it goes together like this. And it seems to be a lot less um, a lot less press on this access lock to open and close it than there is the Spyderco one. Now the Spyderco one does lighten up after a bit, but it doesn't get anywhere as nice as this one. And I gotta say, I'm really, really impressed with this access lock. Wow, it's a very smooth knife. It's got great fidget factor, and many of you guys know that I'm right in the middle of my Victorinox month, and I'm missing my knife flick, and this gives me a little bit of a I get my flickability. Although I'm not going to carry this because I'm only going to carry Victorinox product. Plus, this is going to be a gift, so I don't want to do it. But once my boy has it and he's used it for a while, I'll see if I can maybe trade him a knife for a couple weeks or a month, and I will carry this, and I'll give you a more in-depth version. I just kind of want to give you my thoughts on this right off the bat. Now, if I was going to get one, and money's no object, I think I would prefer the G10 handle. I would like the 20 CP steel because I'm a total knife nerd. Although the 154 CM steel has got great edge holding ability for a non-powdered steel. If you have a look at Cedric and Ada Gear channel, he actually did a 154 CM cut test to cut sisal rope, and it did really well. It was, I think, right around 200 cuts, and now S30V is 230 cuts, I think, on his average. So you're getting some really close to super steel performance of this 154 CM, and it's a really tough steel too as well. It takes a shock. It's not going to chip out like a lot of that harder steel is. And as far as sharpening wise, I heard that 154 CM is a dream to sharpen. Now, this will be the first time that I will have sharpened a 154 CM because I know my boy will ask me to sharpen up this knife once it gets a little bit dull. I'm teaching him how to sharpen, but he likes the pop edge because my edges can cut time and space. So, whoa. That was damn close. She almost hit the boys here with this knife. Not that I'm sitting here naked or nothing like that, but holy smokes. Now, that's a perfect time to talk about one of the things that my big knocks on this knife is this nylon handle. Even though it's textured, it's slippery. It doesn't have like the fine, like G10 has got that fine bit where even though the areas that are not got a texture on them, it'll snag on. This knife is not going to be one that's going to wear holes in your pockets like the G10, but it's also doesn't have grip. Like if you're in a Vaseline factory, this is not the knife to have. The other real knock I have on this is this back little bit here is it digs into the palm of my hand. So when you're grabbing this to close it, you basically kind of want to rest that pommel against your palm of your hand. And I dislike the fact that it digs into my hand and you can't really see, but I would imagine if I were to goof off with this knife for a couple hours, I'd end up kind of wearing a little spot there and she might get a little bit red and irritated. So, and it just seems like, what I would do with it is I would just take some probably 600 grit sandpaper and just give it a little bit of a sand down here. All the edges on this knife are just a little bit sharp. Now, maybe that could be a sign of good manufacturing when it comes out of the mold. The molds are crisp and clean, but it also means that they haven't taken that little bit of extra steps to just kind of give it a little bit of a brush off just to make it more comfortable in your hand, because ergonomics are a huge thing when it comes to knife, especially if you're doing a repetitive task over and over again. You do not want a hot spot on your knife. And as far as I'm concerned, this back little bit is a hot spot. Now, the other thing here too, the fit and finish is, it is, I mean, it's good. It's nice. I mean, the blade here is, it's so close to being centered. I mean, it is clip side, I'm not sure if you can see, but it is clip side just a smidge to the clip side, and just like overall the edges are a little bit too I guess out there. They just need to be knocked down just a smidge. Sometimes people manufacturer will take their scales and they'll throw them in some tumbling medium and they'll tumble them for a little bit and it just knocks down those little sharp edges. And that's probably something that they haven't done with this knife, because I can feel lots of sharp edges on there and you have to just do it by hand. Um, so the other thing too as well is, now this isn't a knock that you're going to know right away, but just from doing some reading, um, the Omega spring that's in here, even though it is lighter weight and seems to be nicer to press than the Spyderco one, there have been issues in the past where that Omega lock has broken, or Omega spring is broken, and so then you have to send your knife in, have them replace it, or give them a call and they'll send you out a spring. And if you're well versed enough and you feel more comfortable, you can pop this apart and put your Omega spring inside there. Now, there's running on phosphor bronze washers, so hey, that's a tried and tested way to open a knife, or it's a tried and tested pivot bearing system on knives that have been around for quite some time, and they do a great job. And this one so far has been very, very smooth, very, very smooth. So I am very impressed. So it is not quite drop shutty, but I mean, I have some Benchmade blue lube, so I'm going to lube up this pivot a little bit before I put it away for good, and then I'm going to wrap it up here, and I'm going to give it to my boy for Christmas. But I just wanted to kind of go over this and tell you what I thought about it. And so far, I would say I would give this knife probably a 7 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10, I would say. I'm going to hit it a little bit more because I think I would much prefer the G10 over this, FRN or nylon or whatever. But and the other thing I really would like is, I think I would like to have the version, because this version does come with a spider hole too as well. So it's got the thumb studs, and you can see that the thumb studs are right here in line with the ricasso, so you're not losing a lot of cutting. So if you start to cut with there, your medium could hit those thumb studs and start to hang up and stuff like that, where if you got the spider hole, it does that so much less. And I can feel already that this edge here is really kind of irritating my palm. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with a 6.5 out of 10. I think it's going to hold up well. I think my boy's going to be very, very happy with it. Now, she does have a really nice wide clip on there, and I forgot to mention the clip is left or right carry, tip up. There is no tip down option with this, which is totally okay. Other than that, I mean, the bottom jimping on here and the top jimping here are really, really nicely done. And oh, look at that! I was just about to say it'd be nice if there was maybe a finger trail in there. So be careful if you go to grab that knife. You don't want to cut yourself. And look at that. That bastard Benchmade bit me here. I think it's saying that I should stick to Spyderco's. Not that I've never been bitten by a Spyderco, but just never been bitten in a video. So now I was going to just mention the fact that be careful with that because it's almost like a little bit of a false finger trail, and lo and behold, she's damn sharp, and I give myself a little bit of a bite. So, damn it, now this knife just got itself a 6 out of 10. A half point, just got its ass kicked. When it cuts the big Canucker, it's going to lose half a point. All right. Thanks so much for stopping by. Appreciate it so much. Now, this wasn't a full review either. And actually, I just wanted to say real quick, thank you so much to Jordan, the fella out of Airdrie who sold me this knife. He was a hell of a nice guy and a really, really good knife guy too as well. So, Jordan, thanks so much. I appreciate it, buddy. Big, huge shout out. Now, I just want to just say, yeah, if you like what you saw here, please give me a thumbs up as well as a subscription. Subscribe, help me to spread my voice, and don't forget to push that little notification button. You'll get yourself a notification when I do another video, and hopefully I'll be doing a whole lot more soon. Um, yeah, so once again, this is the Big Canucker. Please keep your stick on the ice, the shiny side up. This is the Big Canucker. Say adios.